Okay, what's going on, everybody? This is the Play On Podcast episode 4. Myself, Ben, and today we've got some special guests in the building. Big thank you to Don't Be a Dick podcast, guys. You want to introduce yourselves and your team?
My name's Billy from the Don't Be a Dick podcast.
Who's your team?
Used to.
No, your team.
Oh, my
team.
football
Team.
team. My bad. I support Portsmouth, but for the sake of this podcast, I'm coming through for Liverpool still.
Boo.
Yeah, Ryan, Chelsea.
Alex, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Right, great, guys. How you guys doing? Well?
Come on,
Bruv, it's
bro.
bank holiday, it's hot.
It's
too hot.
It's a nice. It's a nice day so
Great,
far, anyway.
great day, and lots of football to talk about. So before we kickstart, Play On Podcast, we're going to just say a massive RIP and condolences to Junior Gogo, who passed,
RIP.
Ghanaian international footballer. So we'll get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. Let's talk about it. The big game yesterday, Arsenal travelled to Anfield, needing to prove a point. If you could just sum up maybe the game in 3 words. I'm gonna turn to you first, being an Arsenal man. 3 words that you think would sum up that game.
See, my 3 words. What did I say? I said it just a minute ago. Not that bad.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. I know a lot of people are surprised by that, but I think it's because I was expecting a loss anyway. So yeah, not that bad.
Not that bad. Right.
Exactly as expected. I expected nothing less from that game. Those are my 3 words.
Golf in class.
Oh.
Golf in class. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
So there's no surprises here. You felt
No.
the way that Liverpool just pressed the hell out of Arsenal.
Yep.
And they couldn't deal with it. So what? Not that bad. Why'd you say that?
Basically, because of the previous games. I mean, it's evident to me there's a massive, as you said, golfing class between Man City and Liverpool and the rest of the Premier League. So I kind of expected Arsenal to lose, but at the same time, there were certain things I did see in that game that showed certain positives. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Can you name those positives?
We weren't completely destroyed as we have been previously. Like, if it wasn't for a couple of defensive mistakes, the last 2 goals were down to defensive mistakes. You have Pepe, who looked really good. You've
Pepe was good. Pepe was real good.
And some of the new players as well. You got Joe Willock that was playing. He played really well. You've got somebody like that. It's that for me. The youth that's coming through. He stuck to he had a specific game plan. He played the game plan. It didn't work, but it was better than it has been in the previous years. So
There was fight in Arsenal this time. There was
That as
fight. Even like with Torreira coming on, they didn't give up.
Yeah.
They didn't fold in other games like previous seasons. There was a bit of bite in them. It wasn't a completely toothless performance.
Were you surprised Torreira came on late as the game was pretty much finished and Lacazette? Because I know Emery did the new formation, which even surprised Klopp with this rough diamond that didn't shine at all. But then was you surprised that bite came quite late with Torreira, who's known as being a bit of a pit bull? And
I don't know. I mean, look, he's been playing Willock for the last few games. So to throw Torreira straight, I don't know if Torreira's started either of the games.
Torreira hasn't
I don't
played
think he has he?
no, he's come back from Copa America and just been introduced. And
So this is it. And I get Torreira. Torreira is a good player. I think Torreira is going to be good. And look, he had to try. I think the diamond clearly didn't work. Left far too much space down the flanks. If you're going to leave space down the flanks, don't do it against best 2 wing backs in the league. Like, you got Robertson and Trent there, and you're going to leave all that space for him. They were saying like 22 crosses in the first 41 minutes or something. Like,
yeah, but saying that, they had no success from it. There weren't no goals that were created from it. It was the one part of the game where you're like, okay, cool. He's given that to them as their option. And had they scored 3 or 4 goals from crosses from Trent or from Robertson, I'd have been like, okay, it fell apart.
I get that, but if it's going to be relentless, like,
It was only
it's
a
going to
matter of
happen,
time,
isn't it?
Yeah, no, it felt that way to a certain degree. It did feel like it was only a matter of time. If we catch him on the counter-attack, great. But I don't know. There were obvious reasons why he didn't play the 4-3-3. He had a mindset. He tried something new. I can't knock him for that. But on to next week. Fingers crossed.
Ryan, your thoughts?
Yeah, Liverpool and Man City are class apart. They're in a different world. And it's going to take a lot for teams to get to that level.
Yeah. Especially at Anfield as well, as we all know. I mean, look what they did to Barcelona last season, and just the way they just pressed the hell out of everyone. The way Arsenal played out of the back, they're still trying to play it out the back, and it's still not working, still not sharp enough. Even where they're maybe setting the traps and then trying to move it around to get out of that initial first stage, still not doing it. So I feel they could have knocked it long or tried something different, some variation.
And David Luiz is David Luiz. You lot got exactly what you paid
But
for.
to be fair,
Let's talk about it.
they didn't make that many. Like there weren't any unforced errors. Like usually we'd have been passing the ball around at the back, something would have happened. Like apart from the Sibelius giving the ball to Mane for around about then, they weren't like they were passing the ball. They were composed at doing it. Guendouzi, I'm severely impressed by him recently. His level of composure on the ball for someone so young, like he's doing a really good job. And I don't know. I'm trying to look at the positives from the game. My aspiration for this year, or the minimum requirement for this year, is top 4. I think we're in a good position to do it. I think if you look at,
They're in a better position
I
to
think
do it.
that's-
Yeah.
I think we've improved. I think that we're in a position where we could achieve top 4. We weren't far off it last year. We could get it this year. Liverpool away from home was never going to be something where I was going there expecting 3 points. 1 point would have been great. No points is what I kind of expected.
I think it's going to be harder for you to get top 4.
Nah,
Every team around you is improved. You just bought Pepe and then a trash defender.
No, and Sibelius and
Tierney,
like we've improved our squad.
Whoever's still injured. That's what it is.
It's
he'll
just
be forever injured. I think that Tierney, there's underlying issues there with the
Yeah.
hip. He has got a bit. His injury history is concerning for such a young age, and it'll be interesting to see how he takes to the Prem and what happens there. But so there were some positives to be taken for the Arsenal game.
I think so.
From a Liverpool point of view, still no clean sheet. Keep a bit of a rush of blood to the head first half, where the clearance went straight to Aubameyang. and-
Yeah, I mean, this is annoying me. Like, it's only 3 games, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
only 3 games. But I got 2 Liverpool players in my fantasy football team, and them clean sheets ain't coming. I need them clean sheet points.
They're expensive as well, them defenders, aren't they?
You're telling me?
They get
Hey,
assist though. Who have you got?
Trent and Robertson.
Oh, I said don't make up
I had
for it.
Robertson right from the beginning of last season. He was always going to be, and I thought, let me put Trent in because Trent's class.
Yeah,
Defensively, he's a bit suspect, but what he makes up for in assists, free kicks, corners, you know, like, it's calm.
So with the defence, this I'm talking fantasy because it was a toss up between Matip and Gomez. Matip with the opening goal as well. Do you think he sort of has got that role ahead of Gomez?
Yes, now I do. I rate Gomez, innit? I rate Gomez, and I thought last season before he got his injury, it was him and Van Dijk in pre-season. They built up a relationship. They looked solid. Obviously, had his injury, Matip came in. Matip's always looked a bit shaky, but as that season went on, and especially like in the Champions League as well, like Matip was great, and he does pop up with the odd goal.
Yeah, he looks quality.
You know, I was doing a request bet yesterday, and they didn't get back to me in time. But I had Matip to score first, and
okay.
I was fuming. But I think Matip's really good now, and he was a free transfer.
He does look solid.
Good business there from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Adrian is the only concern right now.
Yeah. How long's
Another
how
4
long's
weeks.
Alisson for? Yeah,
4 weeks.
4 weeks or
5
so.
weeks.
So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Liverpool got next. Is it Burnley possibly, or?
I'm not sure who they've got next, actually.
sure.
But it'll be interesting to see how that when they keep the clean sheet. Because I could see when Arsenal scored towards the end, the defenders, the back four were upset, and you can see how much it means to them that they need to keep this, especially at home.
Yeah.
So they got the win. They maybe took their foot off the pedal. Would you say?
They did, and I don't really think they got out of third gear. There were points like the start of the first half, and then that 25 minutes in the second half where they were just rampant. But after that, as soon as it was 3-0, foot off the gas, and they soaked up a bit of pressure. Yeah, and Arsenal caused them some problems late on.
Mane wasn't even switched on.
No.
Mane wasn't even 100%.
No, it's
Because
true.
I was worried that he would absolutely tear Arsenal apart, especially after coming back from the African nations and playing so strong in recent weeks. But just talk about Firmino, because he was 1 goal away from 50 goals in the Prem, and then the damage he usually does against Arsenal. Just talk about like his IQ and what he does and provides and helps the other two. Just
He's just mad. He's just a cut above. And people get onto Firmino because he may not score as many goals as you like, especially if you're playing as that in that striker role. But everything else he does is just class. Like the weights, he took the weight off that ball for the what led up to the penalty.
Yeah.
Stupid penalty, by the way. Stupid decision.
From
Mark.
Luis.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It was a
ridiculous.
silly-
For Emery to
yeah.
call that soft, I'm sorry, but like everybody in the stadium, everybody on TV can see he's got a clear
pull shirts,
grab of
yeah.
the shirt.
Yeah.
But that's what you're going to get from David Luiz, isn't it? For everything that's good about him, he has this liability in him.
doing something silly.
But yeah, Firmino's class to me. Like he's just so intelligent.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, talking from one bad Brazilian to another good Brazilian. Yesterday saw some other interesting results. We're going to start with Chelsea Norwich. Frank we trust, investing in the youth players, and what I was really happy to see, and you guys want to expand on this, is this giving Tammy Abraham another chance up front, especially after the issues of the missing penalty, the racial hatred that was thrown at him, and proving that he is good enough in the Prem, and Mason Mount stepping up. So, your views on the Chelsea game?
Bruv, it's great. I like the fact that David Luiz is gone. I like the fact that Gary Cahill's gone. I like the fact this new young energy is coming in. Christensen, Zuma. I love Mason Mount. Tammy Abraham, I'm still a bit on the fence about him because we have Batshuayi. I'm like, this guy's proven as a bad boy. He went to Dortmund, done bits. For Belgium, does bits. He does bits. Everyone loves him. But for some reason, just doesn't seem to be able to play 90 minutes for Chelsea. It winds me up, but...
Because he did so well at Palace, didn't he? When he
does
did
well.
alright,
He does
yeah,
well
yeah.
everywhere he
He's doing
goes.
bits at Dortmund.
Yeah,
He's got a few goals.
Yeah, he done bits
He's
at
got a few
Dortmund. He
goals. I
done
don't
bits at
think he's-
But
Dortmund.
weren't it cut early and then went to Palace?
It was quite early because he got injured.
Okay.
But you know, that's why it's quality. I don't understand why he's not getting play time, but I'm happy Tammy Abraham got play time.
great goals.
Great goals.
They were okay.
No, the second was great. Drop of the shoulder twice,
But
and
he
then that
still
quick
needs to
shot.
do it.
The goalkeeper for me was a bit out of position.
He still
looked-
needs to
looked
do it
crazy.
against what I want to call Premier League quality opponents. He's done it against championship level opponents. He scored them goals. Like playing against Norwich, he probably played against them last year. Might have got a couple goals with Aston Villa. This year, you need to have that step up. So he needs to be scoring goals against the likes of Spurs, against the likes of Arsenal. But this is going to kick him on.
I think he'll get them chances.
Hopefully.
He might just be another Welbeck.
But this is the thing. He needs the chances in the He needs the chances in it because
But as much as I love bring through new, I'm still a Chelsea. So it's like
and to be fair,
there's no time for this.
had they not had a transfer embargo, they'd have probably spent 50 million on the striker and he probably wouldn't be getting the game.
Maybe.
Maybe. Talking to strikers, Pookie party.
Pookie.
Did everyone get an invite to the Pookie party? Fantasy
Bro,
football.
He's
He's
been in my
quality.
team.
What a player.
He's great, and he's
is
doing it
quality.
against the top teams.
He
Yeah,
is. He
see?
is.
Scored that great finish against Liverpool, first game of the season.
Yeah.
Hat-trick against Newcastle.
Hat-trick against goal and an assist yesterday.
Yeah, he's quality.
He's class. He's 29.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a Michu.
yeah, it
It's a
might
Michi.
be.
It's
It
a
might
Michi.
be.
It's a one
It
season,
might
one
be.
and done.
It might be.
It might
But
be.
for that one season,
That
he'll
one and
come.
done might keep Norwich up.
He's going. No,
Exactly.
I think he's going to be the difference. He's going to be the reason that Norwich don't have a problem.
Ooh,
because
if he gets injured.
And they got some good players though, Norwich.
They've got some good surrounding players.
They've got
Yeah,
some good
Campbell's
players.
good. I like
Norwich-
Ben
Campbell a
Godfrey's
lot.
good. He looked it yesterday.
Are Norwich staying up this year, do you feel? From the early signs of the way they like to
Yes.
play football, and they're
Who were the other two? So Aston Villa and
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United
I
and,
think Norwich are the stronger of the three.
and Villa.
Norwich
Villa
are the
have spent a
stronger
lot
of
of
the
money
three.
in it, so
I think Villa will struggle. Personally, I think Villa will go down.
Thoughts on the Villa game on the Friday night. So what's your thoughts on a Friday night game, just generally? Because, I mean, some people don't like it. I generally quite like it because it ends the week if you've been working or you're doing whatever, and it kick starts into the weekend, gives you something to watch or to talk about. But I was a bit disappointed with the game. Everton disappointed with them. But what did you guys think of sort of Villa Park rocking back in the
Everton
Prem,
are
back in the
trash.
big league?
Everton are trash. Everton are doing that thing that they used to do where they
They'll be fine.
have a great start. It's like, yeah, they can actually really do some bits. And it flops. I feel like I've been constantly disappointed by Everton for years. I feel like they've been waiting to get into the top six. They never make it.
Yeah, for real. For
I
as long as
get-
I can remember. From when
I
Lukaku was
think
there.
I think they'll be all right. I think it would just take them a bit of time to get into it, and I think they'll be all right. You got to remember this was the first goal they conceded, or the first goals they conceded on Friday. All right, only 3 games in, I get that.
Yeah.
But the defense looks solid. Yerry Mina looks like a beast again. Dinya's class.
Yeah,
absolutely
he
class.
always has been. Always has
and
been.
as soon as Ken starts scoring and starts getting starts,
Yeah.
I think they'll
Yeah,
be
he
fine.
looked good when he came on, and they seem to have a bit more purpose and drive. Iwobi,
To be, yeah.
looked interesting. I mean, he was unlucky, but he does what Iwobi does and gets in the positions and fluffs it. Walcott, I think he's more worried about his hair than
Yeah, I can't
that
be dealing
finish
with
was
Walcott.
Shocking.
It was really
Yeah, I mean,
bad. It was really bad.
the positive thing in the Everton game is that they made a lot of chances. They had a lot of chances. It could have gone either way. If they had some decent quality finishers, and they would have scored a couple of goals. But it's Aston Villa. So, I mean, in terms of...
You say that. Villa weren't bad against Spurs. They lost,
Nah,
but they
but
weren't bad.
Yeah, but for me, it's first game of the season. First game of the season can go either way because you're coming back from pre-season. You're not 100%. You've got the kind of drive of, it's our first Premier League game. So you're going to be amped up for it. So, yeah, but I don't know. Aston Villa, I don't see it as a real problematic team or something you can mark a top 6 team against.
They got a bed a lot of players in, so I'd give it time with Villa.
Yeah. Nice. Just moving on. I know we touched on Tammy Abraham getting some receiving some issues with missed penalties. Man United and Palace.
Jeez.
Case of the cursed penalty, the missed penalty. Rashford this time stepping up. Big result for Crystal Palace.
Huge.
But De Gea again at fault possibly at the end.
It was poor
You know,
keeping.
Is he the world's number one?
I'd
Are
have
we
said
still
that.
saying that?
Not anymore. You can't be. You can't say that
He hasn't
anymore.
been the world number one.
Alisson overtook him. For me, anyway.
you still
Oh,
want him
sorry.
in your team. Well, I mean, it's up there, but the mistakes he makes raise a lot of eyebrows. Smash and grab by Palace.
Yeah.
They do that
Yeah.
so often, though.
And then the interesting one with the penalty. What's your views on sort of Solskjaer saying whoever feels confident at the time step up, or you think it should be designated penalty taker?
Have
You're the guy.
That's it. Have your penalty taker. There's no ambiguity then. Just have your penalty taker. It is what it is. There's always got to be one player in the team that can take a penalty.
What was the story last season? The 2 players in the argument. I forget. Was it Fulham?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Come on.
What was it? Was it
Mah-
Kamara?
Milovic. Oh, the two Fulham players that argued. Anyway,
It was Mitrovic, wasn't it?
and-
Mitrovic, beg your pardon.
Was it Kamara?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah,
Possibly.
maybe.
Might have been.
Did Kamara win the foul and then...
Yeah, and then he wanted to take it
So
and then missed the
it can
penalty.
cause unrest. But, Man United, Old Trafford. Good to see young players coming through again. A lot of these young teams, big teams, quote unquote, top 6, hate using that phrase, but Greenwood's playing.
Yeah.
The young Welsh player for United scored.
James,
Chelsea bringing players. Arsenal to see 4 English players.
Yeah.
Tottenham always got the English players. So, interesting times, good times.
Yeah, man. I mean,
There's some good English players coming through.
yeah.
Ashley Barnes.
Southgate's got some headache coming.
Ashley Barnes is just a bully, man. You
Oh,
see,
yeah.
like there's Sunday
That
League type
penalty.
players are just.
I would
and
hate to play against Ashley Barnes.
strikers that really put it up at defenders, and they hate to see that. Just moving on, this fixtures this Sunday.
Harvey Barnes, my bad.
Harvey
I was
Barnes.
going to say.
Oh, the
Harvey
finish.
Barnes. Yeah,
Harvey
Harvey
Barnes,
Barnes.
Leicester.
Maybe go at the weekend.
Leicester clicking
Yeah,
into
he was
gear.
quality.
And Madison.
And Madison.
Can we just?
Oh, yeah.
He needs to get the call up.
He needs it. He needs
Yeah,
it.
he
does.
Because
He's
Barkley
class.
needs to
England
go.
need that.
Chelsea
Yeah.
need him. Get rid of Barkley. Man.
Today we got Bournemouth, Man City. Thoughts? Manchester City, just
Man City
the
wash.
machine just rolling over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's 3 points for them.
Wasn't it last season Bournemouth didn't even register a shot? It was only 1-0 to City, but they didn't. They were completely outplayed.
I mean, come on, they did that to Tottenham last week. I can't see them doing anything different this week.
And
That's Harry
Bournemouth-
Wilson.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bournemouth play the type of football where Man City will thrive on and just pounce. Well, they play good football. What is good football? You could argue. So Bournemouth play attractive passing football at home. Man City, we got the Man City away win there.
100%, I reckon.
Yeah.
Both teams to score. Let's get your Iraqis sorted.
Nah. I would say
Callum Wilson needs to step up.
I don't see.
I think without Brooks, they're not.
Brooks is a big miss
Oh,
for them.
Brooks is phenomenal.
But I think Harry Wilson can step into that, no problem. I
He's-
think Harry Wilson's
He's
class.
better than I thought he was.
I know. I'm an optimist, but I'm struggling to see Bournemouth scoring
Yeah,
this.
interesting. And Sterling continuing his scoring streak with Jesus getting the nod over Aguero.
More people need to
Yeah.
start talking that Sterling world class talk, please. It's not getting said. I don't like it.
Yeah,
His
but-
numbers speak for themselves. I don't tell you nothing about the team that he's in because Messi's in a great team and he gets his ass kicked.
No, I accept
Kissed.
that. I accept that. But I just,
Yes.
for me,
After this season, possibly.
Sterling is Sterling is good. He finishes a lot of goals. He does get a lot of goals, but
And assists.
He's class.
Bro, his output.
good.
Look at
He's
his
good.
numbers, bro.
He's class.
It's just I reckon I could just name 10 or 15 players that are above him.
No,
you're saying-
because he's English, you're discrediting him.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
like
I'm
it.
not. I'm genuinely
Sterling for
being
the Ballon
serious.
d'Or, this, you're saying?
I reckon I could name 10 or 15
Over a
players
lot
that
of
are above
people.
him, and that knocks him out of the world class
Yeah.
bracket for me.
What, for the Ballon d'Or for next year?
But Sterling over Hazard. If you could pick Sterling over
Don't be
Hazard for your team.
stupid.
No, look at your numbers.
No, I'm not. It's not about It's not about numbers game though. Sterling over Hazard. That's a
100%.
controversial. No, I'm sorry.
Well, why?
Great debate.
That's not. That's
You're
no.
discrediting him, please. English. I don't
I'm
like
not
it.
discrediting him because he's
You
English.
are.
I'm discrediting him because I think Hazard would have more of an impact on your team as a whole. Personally, I think he would change a game more than Sterling would. Sterling's good and he's fast and he'll run and he's direct, right? But Hazard has the ability to do a lot more with a ball than Sterling does.
I appreciate your opinion. I don't agree.
I appreciate yours too. It's fun.
And that's what we're here for. Let us know. Let us know if you're listening, if you're watching. Let us know. Also, we got Tottenham at home against Newcastle. They're getting drubbed. You know, are they this year's drubbing boys? Newcastle not
Yes,
looking
they
good
are.
for
I'm fearful for them.
Steve Bruce.
Even though they spent a lot of money.
Looks like a fat dinner lady.
He's
Big up the Geordies, but it's not going to look good today at Tottenham's ground, is it?
he's pragmatic, Bruce, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Not for what they want, especially having Benitez.
Yeah,
and how
exactly.
lucky
What a
were they
big drop.
for
Precisely.
so you know.
Whatever,
No, go on.
whatever happens to Newcastle this season, they deserve every bit of it. Mike Ashley has doomed that club once again. You may have invested all this money in Joe Linton, but you should have put your money into your manager because he's world class. Now you've got Steve Bruce.
Yeah.
So
But I do want to say I got a lot of respect for Steve Bruce because he had not from a football, a personal thing, because he had such a hard year last year. He got like a melon thrown at his head by the Wednesday fans. Like he lost his dad sadly, and then
That's unfortunate.
he took his time out of football and then went on the trip that him and his dad were going to do, and he's come back now when he's ready. I got a lot of respect for Steve Bruce. I think he's a nice guy. I just don't think he's good enough.
Nice
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
He should have
nice guys finish last.
gone Strictly, man. He should have done something else this summer.
That's
It'll be
Pardew's
dancing
gig.
around that abuse. And then the last game, we'll do our prediction of the results shortly. But the last game, which is probably the most interesting of the Sunday games, is Wolves Burnley. Wolves coming out of the you chuckling.
No, I love Wolves, man.
Wolves are great.
Great result in Italy.
Yeah.
Torino.
And then will they have? Will paying the price of midweek Europa, Thursday, Sunday games, Monday night. Will that come into effect? Thoughts on the Wolves game, Burnley, because it's going to be a bit rough and ready.
I mean, I see a Wolves win. The weekend, the game against Torino, yeah, they did really well. I mean, they've brought in that caliber of player. Like they brought in Matinho. They've got Jota, who's absolutely quality as well. I can't see Burnley having enough to deal with Wolves at home. So
Burnley are
good, but-
decent. I'm telling you, Dwight McNeil is going to be great.
at Turf Moor, different kettle of fish. Away from home, I think I just don't think they have enough. They'll pick up enough points, but I don't think that they'll beat the likes of Wolves.
I know. Wolves are really good. They're great. They're fantastic.
especially at
But I
Molyneux.
think like every other team that's been in the Europa League, it's always going to be a struggle. That Thursday, Sunday, or Monday thing's always going to struggle.
Yeah, right. So let's wrap it up. So we're going to go just score predictions. Go around quickly. Bournemouth, Man City score prediction.
4-0 City.
Wow.
Same, 4-0. 4-0.
4-0.
Nah, I'm going 2-0.
2-0. All right. Spurs, Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. I know that's not going to happen.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm joking. 2-0 Tottenham.
Okay, a lot of clean sheets.
4-0 Spurs.
4-0 Spurs.
I think
Can I just say, show hands, who's made Kane their captain for fantasy
Yes,
football?
me.
Oh, no, I've got Sterling.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
I had Mane, bro.
I took out Mora for Martial yesterday, and it would have paid dividends. I think I'm waiting for Martial with the black gloves.
Martial's good. He's going to
That's what
be
he
good
means.
this season.
So did you say Spurs, Newcastle? So
Spurs New is going to be 3-0.
3-0, and Wolves, Burnley. It's going to be scored.
2-1. 2-1 Wolves.
Yeah,
2-1 Burnley.
no one's going for any draws.
No.
Not even a Desmond 2-2.
Nah.
No.
Right, let's move on. Okay, and let us know. Let us know we're getting on with your thoughts on Play On Podcast. Right, we touched on this earlier. Recently, Pogba, several players in the Prem receiving a lot of abuse online, racially. Just your views on what Twitter, the Premier League, and what the government or people should be doing to combat this, to support players getting unfair abuse. Just your thoughts on this and how we can move forward.
Don't miss penalties.
Hey.
Oh, no, I'm joking.
I'm glad you said that.
But no, there's not. There's no way to stop it. It's Twitter. Why is everyone? Has this just started? Has Twitter just started? Is everyone just like,
No, it's been going on for years.
this
and
is
years and
years. Why is everyone paying attention now? And what do they think they can do about it? I can start a new Twitter account in 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Have a brand new egg ready to chat rubbish at Rashford. I can do it over and over again. There's nothing they can. I feel like what they're doing right now, like sitting down with the management at Twitter, is empty gesture nonsense. Ban fans, deduct points, set fines, get strict, or it's gonna keep on happening, and nothing you can do about Twitter.
Yeah,
in
but
my
I
opinion.
said this, right? If you're deducting points and you're banning teams, like for all this stuff that's going on with Man United, Man United are getting points deducted from them, right? But then why wouldn't I set up a Twitter account
Yeah.
and attack thingy and then get them deducted points? You
I'm
don't
talk-
know
I'm-
if they're Man United fans or Chelsea fans.
I'm talking
or
about
Arsenal fans or-
racism in the football grounds. Full stop. There's nothing you can do about the internet. Nothing
Yeah, I
you
don't
can do
think
about
there
it.
is. And I think there is a lot of wrong focus on it.
Is there
'cause-
not?
No, but the internet is the Wild West. You can't do anything about
I
it.
get that. I do get that, but we've got to impose something here. It's got to be regulated somehow. The same way that Instagram is regulated against, I don't know, like anorexic pictures and stuff like this. Like there's got to be a way around it. I don't know the answer, but there has to be some kind of a way around it.
There are algorithms you can try and launch to try and weed out certain sentences, but it could just be create a new account and find a way
Send a
around
post. It's just a quick account, send a thing, log on to a Wi-Fi city here.
it. Change the
It is.
G's with sixes.
It is
So
a sticky
silly.
one. I mean, we'll monitor it. I mean, obviously, we could talk about this topic it deserves its whole episode, and much more to it. Just moving on swiftly as we come towards an end. Bury recently were going into sort of not administration liquidation, but just disappearing off the face of this earth.
Kapoofed.
Yeah, thoughts on lower league teams, local community teams needing a helping hand, needing a bailout. Should Premier League teams be supporting them, investing them to help them, even if it's like 1%, even if it's a small donation to keep them afloat, and then working with them to bring players through and keeping these teams alive that are so important in our community? What are your views on the lower teams getting a bailout and getting help, really?
I think the way that football is set up in England, it's not like Germany where you have the 50+1 rule. Okay. And speaking from experience with Portsmouth, obviously we went into administration, we got relegated like 2 times in a row. Like we went right down, and to the point where the supporters bought us. Everybody chipped in. It is a case of community coming together. Sure, the big clubs have got all the money, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and they don't have to help anyone
No,
but
you're right,
themselves.
yeah.
It's a nice thought, but is it realistic? I don't know about that.
Coming from a club that was bought by a shady millionaire and allegedly. So your thoughts of because Chelsea are a money club where they had heavily financial backing, and this then changed their history.
Yeah.
So thoughts on Bury?
They're a business. Ultimately, if it goes under, it goes under. I know there's a lot of feelings, a lot of sentiment, because it's like, oh, this is our club. We've been here for 100-something years. The game's changed. Sorry, man. If the club's got to go, the club's got to go. Nothing you can do about it.
Do they though? I mean, look,
Harsh.
football is born from working class roots where everything was about community, and the football club was the centre of that. And although they are businesses, but it's more than that. Football's more than just a business, because people don't generally get into football to make money. They get into it because they love the game.
Especially at those levels.
Exactly.
Real, hubbub of the community and what they provide for schools and jobs, and also an outlet, you could say, of people in and around the area that might not be able to afford to go to Old Trafford, Etihad, Anfield, and their local teams. They work. You know what I mean? It's like the working class.
But even that, like you look at football games of nowadays, and trying to go to a football ground, the kits. I was looking at kits for my kids. It's £80 for a kids kit,
Wow, yeah.
like a full Arsenal kit. It's like the level of money that you would spend on that kind of stuff. It wasn't that amount of money.
No, it is a nice kit though. But
It's not. It's not
It's ridiculous money.
It's not one of those things anymore. Trying to go to Wembley to watch a final or something, you're looking at like £80 or £90 a ticket.
Yeah, match day programs, food.
It's become extortionate.
Big
And
day
it's-
out.
Yeah, it's a massive day out in comparison to what it used to be. Like
Yeah.
money has taken over all of it, and it kind of has become that detachment from it being a family sport or a community thing. It is now a business.
Yeah, so no big club's going to be like, they love you. So here's some change.
Yeah, 100%.
But as a way to invest to maybe help bring grassroots players through, develop them, maybe something could work out. I know Berry found a buyer, and you were saying, Billy, there's been some sort of extension.
I think they've got to prove that they can pay off their debts by Tuesday.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Like 2
they're
years or something,
expelled.
isn't
Everyone's coming. Okay, well, we hope they work that out and, you know, their situation. Right. It has been the Play On podcast, myself, Ben. Guys, I want to thank you very much for...
Yeah, G.
Thanks for having us,
Yeah,
man.
thank
It's
you
been
very
fun.
much.
It's been our first time with guests talking football, and it's flowed. Do you just want to let people know where they can check out your podcast and what you're doing and whatnot?
Anyway, so we got a podcast called the Don't Be a Dick Podcast. You can catch us on Instagram at the Don't Be a Dick Podcast. Find us on Twitter at the DBAD Podcast. Yeah, man. Listen, out every Monday. Yeah, man. And you need to come through as well.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I know you've had
We've had Cal on.
Had Cal
Need to
on.
come through as well.
I've been MIA, like Ozil, missing in action, and I'll pop up for 5 minutes and sprinkle my magic and then go. Yeah, big guys, big up, respect you guys. Make sure you go check them out. I've been Ben, big up the team in the background. Subscribe, like, do all the stuff the young kids say and do. Let us know your views on football, what you want to talk about. This is for the fans, by fans, all that cliche stuff. Take care. Thanks for listening.